Hey you guys, welcome. Happy New Year. Happy 2024. Yo, that still sounds wild coming out of my mouth, but we are here, you guys. I feel like it was just 2023 and I was making plans for the year, and we all know my 2023 did not go as I initially planned it. But hey, in today's video, we're going to talk about it. We're going to do a recap of all of my makes from last year, as well as set my intentions for sewing for 2024. So welcome. For all those returning, welcome back. For all those subscribers, I really appreciate you. And for those of you new here, welcome. Thanks for checking out my video. My name is Shelly, and on my channel, I create sewing related content. I do pattern hauls, pattern reviews, and other content to document my process and my progress. And in today's video, you guys, we are going to recap 2023. Initially, my 2023 did not go as I planned it. I planned to have all these things and it didn't work out like that. And sometimes it happens like that. Plus, when Uncle Sam comes calling, it's not like you can really say no. So for those of you new here, you don't know, but I spent 6 months of last year deployed to Europe. I had a great time. I got to do a lot of traveling. And fortunately for me, I took my sewing machine. So initially in the year, as I was planning 2023, I set a bunch of intentions, but obviously before I knew it, I had orders and my focus changed. But at the last minute, I decided to take my sewing machine, and I am so happy I did, because I got to get a little, actually I got a lot of sewing done. I think I ended up with 5 makes while I was away, 5 me mades, which is great, especially since I thought there would be a big old goose egg of amount of sewing I'd be able to do throughout the year. So I'm very happy about that, because if you know much about the military, taking your sewing machine on a deployment is kind of wild. It's kind of a wild idea to even think about. However, I was going to Europe, not very hostile area, so I took my sewing machine and all my sewing supplies, because y'all know you need way more than just a sewing machine to sew. So I took all the stuff and it worked out, and I'm very fortunate in that regard, that I not only had the ability but the time and the space to create. And you guys, I was able to take pictures all over Europe in some of my makes. So I've been back a little over 3 months now, and you guys, this is not only my first video of 2024, it's also the first video since I've got back. And not that I didn't have intentions to kind of shoot a welcome back video and just other content, but when I got back, you guys, I was busy. I was pretty much full throttle in planning my husband's retirement ceremony. So his retirement was actually official September 1st, but for obvious reasons, we postponed his ceremony. So when I got back, that was my main focus. I think we had about 50 plus people come in for his ceremony, which was at the beginning of November. So when I got back October, it was either the 11th or the 12th. And by the time I took some time to get acclimated to the time difference and sleep, because it was 24 hours of straight travel, y'all. And I don't do well sleeping on planes, so when I got back, I was tired. So after the tiredness wore off, I got a little bit of rest. I was full throttle in planning, really cleaning up my house, organizing, getting rid of stuff, and doing all those projects that I had put off, because who cares, nobody would see it. Somebody was gonna see it, because like I said, we had 50 plus people come in, and we had a weekend full of events, and 2 of those days of events we had things in our house, so people were in and out. So it was a fun time, it was a good time, it was a well-deserved event for my husband, but it was also a little stressful, especially coming back off that deployment. So y'all, I didn't get around to filming much of anything. And even after that was over, I went from planning one event, recuperating, and getting ready for the second and third thing, because right after that was Thanksgiving. And then I went to the Atlanta Sewing Style brunch with a few of my sew sisters. We had planned that probably mid-year, because at the beginning of the year we set an intention to go to a sewing event, but obviously things changed, so we had to adjust. And when Nikki from Atlanta Sewing Style said that they will be doing a holiday brunch in Atlanta, we were all in. And so that meant making garments, a garment for the brunch, as well as we all decided to make matching pajamas, which came out so great. So long story short, I didn't record any of it, but no worries, we are going to recap it right now, starting with the first make I was able to make in 2023 before I left. So at the top of the year, I made Simplicity 9388, and I'm sure you guys recognize this, the infamous shacket, because everybody was making this coat. So next up, and the first make I made during my deployment, was Simplicity 9618. Y'all, I bought this bag when Simplicity first released it because as a bag maker, bag patterns are usually very expensive. So for $1.99, this was a steal. Next up was McCall's 8324. You guys, this shirt came out so good. I really love the detail on the back. I did run into a few issues making it, but I talked about that in my pattern review. So if you want to learn more about that, I will link it right here. Next up, using the same fabric, I made McCall's 8361. And you guys, I really love this dress. I know a lot of people had mixed reviews about this dress because it's a dress, but it's kind of like a blazer up top. But I love it. I thought it was really cute. And I very much felt like a celebrity walking around Bosnia. I mean, it could have been because I was the only black girl there, but hey. So the next, and dare I say favorite make while I was away, has to be this Simplicity 9597. It's also the Mimi G dress and jumpsuit. You guys, this dress came out so good and I really liked it. And I was even happier because I got to take it with me to Rome to take pictures of it in front of the Colosseum. Last but not least was New Look 6491. You guys, this is definitely a dress pattern, but I didn't like how the dress was looking. I think it was just too much color, so I chopped it and made it into a shirt. Okay, so that was my recap from the beginning of the year, really from January to September. So the first 3 quarters of the year. All of those patterns were a first time make for me and I am super happy with the outcomes. Alright, so let's get into all the sewing I did once I got back home. Most of this sewing was really deliberate as I was trying to either finish projects that I had previously started or get ready for an event. So my first make once I got back was McCall's 8056, which is a pajama pattern. So here's a bonus photo of me and my soul sisters on our weekend getaway in our matching pajamas. Alright, so next up, it wasn't really next, it was just the option that made it to the brunch. Because you guys, I made or almost made 3 garments. This is the only one I finished, but I did start 2 others. But this one I like the most. This is Simplicity 9820. It is a Mrs. Knit dress. So the next make I did participating in the Sew Your View challenge, which is Simplicity 9679. And although this is a shirt pattern, I decided to extend it and make a dress. And I love, love, love how it turned out. And my last make of the year was Nomi 2046. You guys, this dress has moved to the top of my highly recommend list because it was so quick and easy. And of course it was cute too. So just a few honorable mentions. First being this custom tote that I made early this year for a customer. Next is a custom travel bag that I made for myself. Both of these patterns are by Bagstock Designs, by the way. And last but not least, this adorable robe I made for my son at his request. Alright, so that is my 2023 recap, and as you can see, I had a pretty productive year despite the fact that I was gone a significant portion of the year. I was even able to get up some sewing reviews for many of the makes that you saw. I think the only make that I didn't do a review for was Simplicity 9597. I actually shot it, I just did not get around to posting it. So I do have plans to post that very soon. And if you got any questions about any of the makes or any of the adjustments that I made, feel free to ask, and of course I will let you know. So 2024, what's coming up? I would say a lot. I have a lot of plans for 2024. I decided to participate in the Make 9 2024 challenge. However, there is a bit of a twist, I'd say, or maybe I'm just doing mine a bit different. I've seen a bunch of different people posting about it in the sewing community because it is January, so people are setting their intentions for the year. And it seems like for the most part, people would choose patterns or say, hey, these are the things I want to make for my Make 9. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to either choose skills or fabrics that I want to work with for my Make 9. And my next video will go more in depth and talk all about it, and I'll even show you guys my Make 9 square that I created. So in addition, I pulled out a stack of patterns of items I want to make based off what may or may not be missing from my wardrobe. And actually at the end of the year last year, y'all, I took all of my patterns out and I organized them. I organized my pattern by type, so all the shirts are together, dresses, blazers, coats, and so on and so on. Let me know how you guys organize your patterns, because I know a lot of people organize them totally different ways. I know some people organize them by pattern brand, other people organize them by pattern brand and make. I just don't have the space to do that. That would be nice to have all my Simplicity patterns together, McCall's, but I just don't have the space. So I organize them simply by type. So let me know what y'all do. So soon you'll see a video all about it. Plus, you guys, I got a new sewing machine. I got an industrial sewing machine. I believe it is a Thor 1541, which is like a cousin to the Juki industrial machines, if you're familiar with those. But this one is a cylinder arm. It does have a flatbed that I could put on the machine if I want to, but for the most part it's a cylinder arm, which means I have a lot more control, especially when I'm making bags, which is why I bought it. However, the machine is still on a pallet in my garage. It was delivered mid-December, but with the holidays and y'all, the Air Force got me again. Not sure if you remember, but I was promoted mid-2023 while I was away, and there was a leadership school that was a requirement for promotion. Obviously, I had to defer that because I was deployed, but as soon as I got back, the Air Force, they cashed it in, and I will be there pretty much January and February. So I'm on my way out of the door tomorrow. So my machine is going to be on a pallet until I get back, but once I get back, obviously I plan to do a whole unboxing and setup, because I gotta reconfigure my whole craft space just to bring that in here. It is massive. It is like a whole table about the size of this table behind me with a sewing machine embedded in there. So I'm super excited about it, but unfortunately it's just gonna have to sit for 2 months. If I would have known that before, if I would have known I would have been tasked for this class at the beginning of the year, I probably would have just waited to buy the machine. But back in November, I had no idea that this would come up right now. So other than that, I do have plans to do a few bag tutorials this year here on my channel. I often get a lot of questions about bags, whether it's zippers, you know, how to keep things straight and how to do all the things. Plus, I plan to open commissions up for bags maybe late March once I get back from this course and once I'm settled. And I have a request list of about 5 bags. They're not all different bags, so I do plan to make Simplicity 9618 using faux leather materials on my new machine. And the 2 bags that I did show in the honorable mentions, which both are from Bagstock Designs, those are usually my, I'm not gonna say most requested bags. Obviously the travel bag that I made for myself, that was my first time making that bag, and I usually make a bag for myself or someone very close to me when I first try it out. And so that bag came out so great. I probably have 3 people who want me to make them the exact same bag or a bag that's very similar. So I plan to do that here on the channel. And like I've said, I've gotten so many different questions about tips and tricks on bag making. So if you have any, please let me know. I will definitely show you. I know one of my friends just asked, and what do you know, I have a bag right here. She asked about, I think it was how to hide the zipper. And so I have so many tricks on how to hide the zipper, how to keep things looking really flush or just clean, whether it's at that part or, come on camera, or the end part. So like I said, let me know your questions and I will be happy to make a video for you. So I also have a few blankets that I'll be making with embroidery. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. I'll record that too. Alrighty, so that is a wrap for today's recap and 2024 sewing intentions. You guys, I am so happy to be back home, back in America. Like, I am just so excited about what 2024 has to offer. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you're still here, please hit the subscribe button and stick around. And until next time, happy sewing, y'all.